Ambassador Velthar's compound eyes swept across the primitive blue world, rotating peacefully on the holographic display. The insectoid diplomat from the Galactic Federation clicked his mandibles in what his human liaison had learned to recognize as confusion. "I must inquire again. Ambassador Chen," Velthar said, his translator rendering his chittering into smooth standard. "Your species has been part of the Federation for 3 cycles now. You have witnessed the Krell incursions. You know the dangers that lurk in the void. Yet Earth remains naked. No orbital defense platforms, no quantum shield generators, not even a basic stellar fortress. Why?" Ambassador Sarah Chen smiled, that peculiar human expression that Velthar had never quite understood. It could mean amusement, politeness, or sometimes, and this unsettled him, something far more predatory. "We have defenses, Ambassador," she replied calmly. "Just not the kind you're looking for." Velthar's antennae twitched with agitation. "I have reviewed your military capabilities. Yes, you have a respectable fleet. 200 warships by last count. But without fixed defenses, without fortifications, Earth is vulnerable. The Krell could strike your homeworld while your fleet is deployed elsewhere. This is basic strategic doctrine, taught to hatchlings across 1,000 worlds." Sarah leaned forward, her fingers steepled. "Tell me, Ambassador, how many species in the Federation have lost their homeworlds despite having defense grids?" The question caught Velthar off guard. His mandibles worked silently for a moment. 17, he admitted. "In the last century alone. The Krell are persistent and their siege weapons are formidable, but those worlds held for months, sometimes years, buying time for reinforcements. Buying time to watch their homes burn from orbit while they waited for help that came too late," Sarah said softly. "We've studied those battles, Ambassador. We've seen the pattern. A species builds fortresses around their world, pours resources into static defenses. They feel safe. Then the Krell come with overwhelming force and those fortresses become anchors, tying down fleets that can't abandon their homeworld. The defenders fight valiantly, desperately until their shields fail and their platforms burn. And Earth's strategy is different." "Different how?" Velthar demanded. "Reckless is what it appears to be." Sarah stood and walked to the viewport, gazing out at the star field beyond. "Do you know what we call a fixed defensive position in human military history, Ambassador? A target. When you build a defense grid, you're announcing to every potential enemy exactly where you'll be, exactly what you're protecting, and daring them to bring enough force to crack it. It's a challenge, an invitation." She turned back to face him. "Humans learned something during our tribal days on Earth, something we carried with us through every war we've ever fought. The best defense isn't a shield. It's making sure the enemy never wants to attack in the first place, and if they're foolish enough to try, making sure they regret it so thoroughly that no one ever tries again." Velthar's translator struggled with the nuance of her tone. "You speak in riddles, Ambassador Chen. Let me be clear then." Sarah activated her own holoprojector. It showed not Earth but deep space, a region on the far side of Federation territory. 3 weeks ago, a Krell scout fleet was detected near the Terminus Nebula. Standard reconnaissance pattern, nothing unusual. They were mapping our trade routes, identifying targets. One of those targets would have been Earth. Would have been, Velthar repeated. The scout fleet disappeared 6 days ago. All 17 ships. No distress calls. No debris field. Nothing. The insectoid ambassador felt a chill run through his exoskeleton. The Krell do not simply vanish. Their ships are among the most advanced in the galaxy. "They don't vanish," Sarah agreed. "They get eliminated. By the Terran Expeditionary Force." "You asked about our defenses, Ambassador. They're out there." She gestured to the vast darkness beyond the viewport. 50 hunter-killer groups, each one a small fleet unto itself, operating in deep space across a sphere that extends 200 light-years from Earth in every direction. No fixed positions, no predictable patrol routes. They hunt. Velthar's antennae stood rigid. "You're describing an offensive force, not a defensive one." "Exactly," Sarah said, and now her smile definitely looked predatory. "We don't wait for threats to reach Earth. We find them first and we end them before they get close. Every pirate den, every Krell staging area, every potential threat within our sphere of influence, we deal with it proactively." The Krell scout fleet? They were identified, tracked, and eliminated 2,000 light-years from Earth. That's our defense grid, Ambassador, not weapons platforms that wait to be attacked. but fleets that ensure no attack ever gets close enough to matter. That's madness, Velthar whispered. The resources required, the constant state of aggression, is cheaper than rebuilding Earth after a siege, Sarah interrupted, and more effective. Our analysts have run the numbers. Static defenses give potential enemies time to plan, to gather overwhelming force, to find weaknesses. But an enemy that knows humans don't wait, that knows we'll come for them in the depths of space before they're ready, that knows attacking Earth means fighting our entire military might on our terms, not theirs, that enemy thinks twice. And the ones who don't think twice serve as object lessons for everyone else. She pulled up another display, showing a tactical map of human military deployments. Velthar felt his translator stumble, trying to process the sheer scale. Human ships were everywhere, pushing out into the dark, maintaining a presence in regions the Federation had written off as too dangerous or remote to patrol. You asked why Earth has no defense grid, Sarah said quietly. It's because we consider attack the only defense. Not reckless aggression, calculated, relentless pressure. We learned long ago that the best way to protect your home isn't to build higher walls. It's to make sure your enemies are too busy defending their homes to threaten yours. It's to make the cost of attacking you so severe, so certain, so immediate, that it never crosses their minds to try. Velthar was silent for a long moment, processing the implications. Finally, he clicked his mandibles, a sound his liaison would recognize as resigned. Understanding mixed with unease. The Council will not approve of this doctrine, he said. The Council doesn't have to, Sarah replied. Earth is our world to defend, and we'll defend it our way. But Ambassador? She fixed him with an intense gaze. The next time the Krell threaten Federation space, watch what happens. Watch how quickly human ships arrive, how aggressively they engage, how thoroughly they win. Then ask yourself, would you rather have humanity as your ally carrying the fight to the enemy? Or would you prefer we build pretty orbital platforms and wait for the galaxy to come to us? Velthar didn't answer. He didn't need to. As he left the human embassy and returned to his ship, he found himself looking at the peaceful blue world below with new eyes. Earth had no defense grid, no fortresses, no shields. It didn't need them because Earth's defense was everywhere else.